Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Enoch, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to create a header with a search bar like that of Amazon, Flipkart, Etsy or Walmart. So if we take an example of how Amazon looks, when someone searches, for example, for shoes, the product thumbnail displays plus a product title. It's the same thing with Flipkart, and it's almost the same thing with Etsy. So in our store, we're going to be able to search for products like, for example, if I search for women's dress, then some products that match that keyword are going to be displayed in this Ajax search bar. So you can customize the title, you can customize the length of the description, and also the thumbnails. This store and this header is going to have a My Account section. So if someone clicks on the My Account section, they get redirected to the My Account page where they can access their orders, downloads, and manage their account. And it's also going to have a card, something like this. So probably your customers will be able to check out by viewing the cart or by clicking checkout. And it's going to also have this menu right here that has categories to some other products that we'll be selling. So in case you're interested in learning how to do this, then let's get started. So now I hope you're logged into your WordPress dashboard. So the very first thing that we need to do is to go to the plugin section and click on add new plugins. So the plugin that we're going to install first is called Elementor. And we're going to click on activate. I think I've already installed it. So click install and activate. Then I'll click back to go back to the plugin section. Then I'll find Royal Elementor add-ons. It's really important. We're going to use it. Then one last plugin that we're going to use is called Boostify. I think just search for Boostify, and it has a cat icon that I want to use for this tutorial. So it's important that we install it and activate it. And once that is done, come to this plugin section right here and also activate the Royal Elementor add-ons. So I'm going to click skip and let it redirect me to this page right here. So now I think everything is set, but for now let's see if we have some product categories that we could use. Now I only have one, but in case you have more, I'm going to show you what to do. So you can maybe image shirts if you're selling skincare products, serums and everything. It really doesn't matter, but we need to create a header menu. Yeah, and this is going to be important for basically our mobile header. So let's go to appearance and click on menus. Okay, and while we are here, we're gonna go to this menu name and just call it main menu. You can call it anything, yeah, and click on create new menu. Okay, so once you do that, then you can start adding in some stuff to the menu. For example, you can add in the home page, probably the shop page, the My Account. You can add them, but in case you want to link to specific product categories, you may not see product categories here, but when you come and screen options and you look for product categories, it should be right here, and you should be able to see some product categories. Right now I have one, but let's say I wish to add more stuff to the header. And by the way, I didn't add these pages to the header, so I'm going to select them again and I'll just click add to menu and they will display right here. So I'm going to add in some custom links. For example, let's say we're selling electronics. So right here you can paste in a link to your electronics section or product category, but for this case I'm just going to use hash. Maybe I'm selling groceries and I'll just do a hash, but you can paste in a link to your specific product categories, or you can say what other products, maybe fashion, All right, no, here it has to be a hash, then the link text goes in here. So yep, so now everything is looking fine. So let's click save menu, and that is done. So now guys, we're going to start working on the header. So I'm going to click no thanks here and make sure the menu is saved. So now to create the header, all you have to do is to come right under here in under row add-ons and click on theme builder. Okay, so once you're here, make sure you're under header, because now you can create templates for how your footer can look, your product archives, your product single, but right now we're only focusing on header. So make sure header is selected right here, then click on create template. So you're gonna give it a name, yeah, so you can call it main footer, my footer, but I'll just call it main footer, or sorry, main header. Instead, you're creating a header. So now once that is done, it's gonna ask you for the display conditions, and for the free version it allows you to only configure for the entire site, which is okay for me. So I'm gonna click save, and once I click save, it's gonna open up the Elementor page builder so that we start working. So I'm inside my page builder, and right now I want to create a column, and it's gonna be this layout, 3 of them. So I plan to put my search bar inside here, and my icons right here, and my logo right here. So let's start with the logo. So before I actually do anything, let me click on this section right here and just make sure it's full width. Then I'm gonna go to the advanced section and unlink the paddings. Yeah, by unlinking, it makes sure that everything is 0. So because I need to have more control over the items. Okay, so I'm gonna drag in my image right here. Then what I'm gonna do is I want it to link back to the home page. So if I click choose image and I go to upload, let me see if I uploaded the image. No, I haven't. So I'm gonna click on select files. Then I think this should be the image right here. So I'm gonna click on upload and select, and once it's, I'm gonna add it right there. So now there it is. And for me to add my home page, I can actually copy it from here. Okay, something like this. Yeah, then I'm gonna scroll down to link under custom URL, and I'll paste my link down here. So that is done. So in the next part, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add in a search bar. So search, type in search right here, and you will see Ajax search, and you see an R icon, which means that this widget was added into Elementor by Royal Elementor add-ons, the plugin that we just installed. So I'm gonna drag that and I'm gonna paste that in. So sorry, throw it in there, and that is done. So over on the right hand side, I'm gonna add some icons, and I'm gonna use an image. So I'm gonna drag it in like that. Then I'm gonna click on choose image. So I have these icons right here, and I think I'm gonna be linking these icons in case you wanna use them. I'm gonna put them in a Google Drive folder and put them in the description. So the first icon I wanna add is the heart. Okay, now I think it is too big, so one way to reduce it is to come under style, and I always like to change these pixels from percentage to pixels, and this to also to pixels. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a width of 35, and let's see how that looks. I think that looks fine. And I'm gonna duplicate it. So right click on it and duplicate it. Then I'm gonna click on this icon right here for the user account. And lastly, I am gonna click on the cart and search for the cart icon. So it's right here. And this was added by the Boostify plugin that we used. So I can add it right there. So now let's start working on this section first, then we'll work on this section, then lastly the search bar. So for the heart icon, we want it to redirect to the wish list. Okay, so let me first save this and preview how everything is looking on the page. It's pretty looking not so good, but we need to first work on this heart icon, which is our wish list. So go back to the dashboard, and what you're gonna do is that we're gonna go to plugins and we install one more plugin, and plugins are right here, and click on install. We're gonna install a plugin called wishlist. So in case you can search for wishlist, something like this. The plugin that I would want you to install is right here, TI WooCommerce wishlist. Click on install. Okay, and once it's installed, just click on activate. It's gonna take you through a couple of steps, most probably, if this is your first installation. So all you have to do is to click on let's go, to just click on continue, click on continue, just like that, and click on continue, and continue one more time, and it's done. Or we can click on continue just one more time and click return to WordPress dashboard. Okay, so go under pages, and what this plugin has done is that it has created this wishlist page. So you can click and view it, and it will look sort of like this. It's empty for now, but if you go to the shop section, click on view shop, you realize that it has added this button on your website, and once you click on it, it's going to add it to the wish list. So you can click on view wish list. Okay, and your wish list item would be added. So you can actually copy this link, and what you can do is that you can come and click on this image right here, go under content and scroll down under link and put custom URL and click on paste and click on update. Okay, so every time we refresh our page and click on this wish list, it's going to take us to the wish list icon, the wish list page. So now we need to go back to the dashboard, and I think I'll close this for now, and we go under pages and we go to the my account page, this right here. Click on view, so you can copy the link address or you can view the page. Yeah, so what you can do here is that you can copy this, then what you can do is that you can come and just paste it under here, under link custom URL, and click on paste. So now whenever someone clicks on this icon right here, they're going to be redirected to their account so they can view their orders, manage them, and manage their address. So now I want this thing in a single line. So to do that, I'm going to click on this container right here. Then I'm going to change the direction from vertical to horizontal. Then it's going to look like that. Okay, so so now I'm going to go, once I've clicked on this container right here, I'm going to go to the advanced tab, and I want to leave some space between these two. So I'm going to uncheck this. Then on the left hand side, I just want to add like a 30 pixel padding on the left hand side. Then what I'm going to do is that under layout, I'm going to come and just probably under align items, I'm just going to center these. So once I update and preview the page, this is how it's going to be looking. So now let's work on this logo right here. And what I'm going to do about this is that I'm going to go under its style elements. I'm going to change the width from percentage to pixels. Yeah. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it close to, let's do 185 pixels and see how that looks. I think that looks fine. Then I'm going to click on the container right here, and I just want to make sure that the direction is raw and it is centered, and I want it to display maybe to the end. Let's see how that looks. Refresh this. and that sort of looks better. So now we might come back to this. I don't want it to the end. Maybe I want it centered. And once this refreshes, I think this looks kind of better, but there's still some more work to do. So now let's start working on this search bar right here. So the very first thing we're going to do is that we're going to enable the Ajax search. So we're going to show the thumbnails, make sure the product thumbnails are displaying, because once, for example, this refreshes and you try to search for example, mug, yeah, the product thumbnails do not show. Okay, so now you make sure that this is turned on, and view results button, you can experiment with these, but I don't think they would matter. But once the thumbnail is enabled and this is updated, and you come and search for mug, then the thumbnail is going to show up together with the image. Okay, I think that's cool. And I think that's all we have to do with the content. So we need to move under style, and we need to edit them one by one. So under, you'll find this section where you have the Ajax, the button, and the input. Okay, so now the very first thing that we need to do is to handle the input section. So the input is where the user types. Yeah, so expand it. So the default color, I think I want it to be black. The text, for example, if someone is typing, yeah, then under focus, I also want the color to be black. So when someone is typing, instead of their words being any color, I want them to be black. Okay, so the background color can remain white, and the placeholder, for example, search, I need it to be black. Okay, and I'll do the same thing under normal. I want it to be black and visible. Okay, so now what I can do is that even for the border color, there's a border around it. Yeah, if I just take this away, there's a border around it. It's hardly visible, but what we can do is we can change the border color to something like black. Okay, even under focus, the border color should be black. Okay, so now that's how it's looking. So now it's too thin, so we might need to increase the border width. To increase the border size, sorry, it should be 2 pixels or 2 to 3 pixels, but I think 2 is fine. So it's still even under focus. Make sure it is 2, and that looks fine. So now if I take this away, that looks better. So we need to add some curves to the edges, and to do that, we are going to scroll down to border radius and unlink this, and make sure we have something like 20 pixels to the top and 20 pixels to the left. So 20, and hope this works. Yeah, that works. So I think I'll just remove these to make it 0 and make it 0. So even on the right, it's curving right here, but I want it to cover the end of the button. So I'm just going to remove this. Oh, sorry about that. I'm going to unlink this, and on the right, I just want to make it 0. Okay. So one important setting I had forgotten is that you may want to change this search to something different. So under content, under placeholder, instead of doing search, maybe you can say search store or something like that. Then this text will change. Okay. So we can go still under style and do whatever you want with it. And you can change the text from something from the default to something like Roboto. Yeah, this is the font that Amazon uses. So you can make the weight medium or heavier or whatever you'd like, but I'll keep it to something somehow light. Yeah, if it's not light, then I'll just keep it normal. And that is done. So now we minimize the input, then we go to the button. And what we can do with the button is that we can set the background color to be a little bit of orange. So I'll look for an orange color, something like this. I think something like that would work. Let me just set it as a global color. I think I will need to reuse it. So when someone hovers over it, I don't want this blue shade, so I want it to be black. Yep, so I think that's nice. And I'm gonna set the width of the button to something like 58. Yeah. Then the border size, actually, I'm gonna unlink this, and I'll make it 2 to the top, 2 to the right, and 2 to the bottom. Okay. Then on the left, I think it can remain 0. Okay. Then for the padding, sorry, for the border radius, I'm also gonna unlink that and just give it a 40 to the right and 40 to the bottom. And I'm gonna change the border color to something like black. Okay, I think that looks better. So let's try and update this and view it right here. Something is off with the border, but let's try and fix that. So come to the normal and make sure also the border color is black. Okay, so click on update, and this is how it's looking. All right, so now let me do something real quick. All right, so far so good. This is how our search bar looks like. And what I'm gonna do next is that I need to work on this cut right here. I think these are okay. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. But this cut needs to change, because as you see here, when someone hovers over it, and it doesn't look that nice. Okay, so even if we add, let's say, some products to the cart, for example, if I select this image, opens up, select this, add it to the cart, and the cart doesn't look nice. Okay, it just doesn't look nice. So what I'm gonna do, make sure it's selected like this, change it from bag to cart sidebar, and you will see now, for example, if I'm to go back to the store and click on the cart, now it displays from the right. I think this is better. So now let's see what we can add. What I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna add some text under here. So I'm gonna click on a container just like that. Then I'm gonna add in some list items. So I'm gonna type in and search for an icon list, and I'm gonna delete these first two, and I'm also gonna click on this first one and delete this icon. So I can call this grocery, and let's assume this links to a certain product category. So I can just paste in that product category. And what I can do is that I can just keep duplicating this to as many items as I would like. Okay. So now I can change these. I can go in and change this to phones, then update this link to the phone category. Okay. Then I can change this to, let's say, fashion. All right. So let me pause and change all these. So now I've filled in all of them, but now I want them to be in a horizontal format. So to do that, just change this to inline layout and center the list. Then just increase the space between to something that you'd like. And what I am gonna do is I'm gonna go under text and make sure the color is black. Okay. And the typography can be Roboto. So you can search and say Roboto, something like that. Then just increase the letter spacing to something desirable. Okay. That looks better. Then what we are gonna do next is we need to go under text still, under hover. I'm just gonna add that orange shade. Yeah. So in case someone hovers, this text just changes to orange. Okay. Then lastly, under here, I'm gonna search for a divider, something like this. Then I just place it under there. So it's solid and it's 100% width. So let me change this. Click on this container and just make it full width, because I want this divider to just stretch the entire page. Yeah. which is doing right now. So I'm going to click on it and go to style. I want to make it somehow a little bit light. Yep, like that. Then I'm going to make the gap to 0. So I'm going to update that. And once it's updated, I just come and refresh my shop section, or I can open up this product section and see how that looks. Now I think that looks neat, but we may need to do a few minor touches here and there. What we can do is that you can click on this section right here, go under advanced and turn off these paddings, okay, and update that, and let's see how that looks. All right, so we need to move this line a little bit above. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to select the divider, and actually I can increase the gap, yeah, so that it's easier to select. But then when you go under margin, under advanced layout, we can just move it a little bit above, like that. Then we can click on save, and that's how it's looking, guys. So I'm thinking that so this is how it's looking. So in case you don't want this figure right here, it's looking somehow off, we can come back to this right here, then disable subtotal. Yeah, so then what we can do is go under style, under font size, then just bump up this to a reasonable size, probably the size that I would do for this cut should be something not so big, but I think something like 40 or 39 would do. So if you set it at 40, I think that would do. Okay, so now don't mind about this preview. The header doesn't look good or well aligned in the preview, but on the actual website it should, and I think that looks clean. Okay, so now guys, that is done for the desktop, but now we have to create some other headers, probably for the tablet and for the mobile. Okay, so let's click on this responsive mode icon, come to tablet. So tablet I think looks fine, yeah, no problem whatsoever. Then for mobile everything is jumbled up. Okay, so now what you're gonna do is that we're gonna start working on the mobile views to make sure that it looks good on mobile. Okay, so now I'm gonna create 2 columns right here. Okay guys, I need you to follow along very carefully. Yeah, so on the left, I'm gonna set this to a width on percentages, and let's just make it, I think 52 would do the job. And this one on the right can be just a little bit smaller, and instead of pixels, make sure it's in percentages, and probably make it 48. Okay, so on the left here, I'm gonna click and drag an image, and the image that I'm gonna add is gonna be our logo. Okay, and this is a logo right here, and make sure it links back to the home page by adding a link. So hopefully that is the link that I want to redirect to. Then on the right hand side here, I want to add a card. Okay, so I'm going to search for a card once again. So it's been added, but now we need it to be a sidebar. Okay, and we might not want the total. It might disturb what we're doing right now because we have little space, and you can play around with the right font size, whatever you'd like. Yeah, anything suitable. Then on the right hand side, we need to add a nav menu. Okay, so click on this bar menu right here and search for nav menu. Okay, so right here I'm gonna click, drag, and place it under this cut icon. Yeah, so when you click on this pencil icon to edit it, I want it, for example, if someone clicks on it, this is how it displays. Yeah. So if it's centered, I think that looks fine. Then once you go to mobile menu, it can be aligned to the width or to the center, but I still keep it to the center. And it can display full width. If you set it to none, then it won't work. Yeah. Well, yeah. So I rather keep it full width. Okay. Then the toggle align can be centered, something like that, or it can be to the end. Yeah. Whatever you'd prefer, but let's first keep it centered for now. And you can go under style. Okay. Then minimize this, and you can go to mobile menu and make sure the text color, I really want it to be black. Everything I think else looks nice, but the focus, for example, if someone kind of hovers over them, I want it to be this orange color. Okay, so that looks better. Then the toggle icon, when someone hovers, it turns blue, so I also want it to be orange. That's okay. So now I'm gonna click on this container right here, and it's important that we change the direction from vertical to row, because we need them on the same line. So something like this would do greatly. So now that's how it's looking. So let's say, remember, this is still selected. Maybe I'll just minimize this. So this is still selected. So I want to push it to the end of the screen. So to do that, under justify content, I just want to push it to the end like that, and just make sure it is centered. Okay. So now when you take this away, it kind of looks like it's off somehow, but it should be displaying well. Maybe we should disable that. All right. I'll find a solution for that. Okay. I'll find a solution for that. So now, what we're going to do next is we need to add this search bar down here. So I'm going to create another column just like this. And what I'm going to do is, actually, I can just copy this. Hopefully it won't cause any problems. And I just paste it right here. Yeah, no problems whatsoever. So I'm going to click on this section right here and just unlink the paddings to make sure there is no space and just fits in. So now, guys, we need to start hiding stuff. So we need, if you go back to the mobile desktop menu, this is a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so we need to hide this menu from these two sections on mobile so that they don't display. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this and go under advanced and go under responsive and hide it on mobile. Click on this section, go under advanced, go to responsive and hide it on mobile also. Okay, so when you go to mobile, you'll find now that they are grayed out. So if I do this, then you'll see that they no longer appear, even though they kind of appear here, but they technically don't appear. So now we need to hide this on desktop. Okay, so click on this section, go under advanced, go under responsive and hide on desktop, hide on tablet, and hide the search bar. Click on it, go under responsive and hide on tablet and hide on desktop. Okay, so when we click on tablet and mobile, here's how everything is looking. Okay, so now there is something we need to fix here, and there's something we need to fix also here on the mobile. Okay, so but I like to view this in this editor mode. Yeah, it doesn't give me the real display. So what I like to do is to use these windows right here to test out the tablet. Yeah, okay, so now it displays well both for the tablet, yeah, and for the desktop mode. Yeah, so now for mobile, let's see how that is looking. Let's take this away. So we need to add some space between these two. So I click on this section right here. Remember, we had removed the padding. So go under layout and just add some paddings of like 10 to the left and 10 to the right. Yeah, but I think that's too much, so we can do something like 7. Yeah, that should be okay. And these should be well aligned. All right, so if I'm to take this away, maybe you can push these 2 icons a little bit down, and the way to do that is to click on this section and make sure it's centered like this. All right, it's not working, but okay, let's try clicking on this section right here, guys. This is try and error, but yeah. So we go to padding, maybe we add something like 10, not 10, 20, but maybe, I don't know, but let's try this. Yeah, I think that looks better. So we can actually make it 15. Yeah, so now everything looks to be in line. So the mobile responsiveness is okay. The tablet, let's try and add some padding to the left of this section. Sorry, to the right. So where there is 30 to the left, maybe 30 to the left and 30 to the right. That makes everything smaller. So probably you can just do 20-20. Not 200, but 20. And I think that's better for mobile. Yep. Sorry, for tablet. But it shifts things around in a way I don't like. So I think that should do. Or alternatively, we can just say 10-10. Yeah, I think that's better. Then this section is out of position. So I'm going to click on this section right here. Then I'm just going to add a very small padding to the top and the bottom. Yeah, just to make sure that it looks nice. So maybe if we add, let's say 10 pixel padding. So I think that looks better now. Okay. Then the desktop. Oh, the desktop is somehow off, but when you preview it, so let's click update. When you preview it in the main window, I think it looks nice. So guys, always try to avoid making your final decisions from the editor right here. Yeah, because as you've seen, when you try to make changes, it doesn't give you the correct idea always. Okay, but one thing actually we can do before we leave the tutorial is this spacing right here is too close. So the trick is under this section right here on desktop, we can click on this section, go under advanced, and on the bottom we can leave a margin of like 20-40 pixels. Yeah, it's important. So when you refresh, you realize now we've created some more space, which looks nice. So thanks for watching the tutorial, guys. I hope you learned something and enjoyed the video. And you can leave a sub to the channel to be totally grateful, and catch you on the next one.